So, I experienced my first panic attack over the weekend, and it was really scary. And I wanted to discuss this in a YouTube video because why not? So, if you're new here, hi, my name is Naima, also known as Bunny Online BAMB, and on my channel, I yap a lot, in particular about like media and whatever I feel like yapping about for the week. And I did have like an initially planned video prior to like last week, but I experienced my first panic attack and it was really scary, and I just repeated myself, but I want to talk about it. So we're going to talk about it in this video. So I've never had a panic attack before in my life. I've been battling with anxiety for the past 5 years. I'm a person who has been struggling with their mental health for a long time. I would say for over a decade. I'm 23, but I first started dealing with issues pertaining to my mental health when I was a fifth grader. I started experiencing symptoms of depression and not wanting to be here, and I've been dealing with them for a long time. In particular, when it comes to my stressors, which, amped up all of these anxieties, I guess, within my body. I would say within the last year, since I graduated college, I've been battling with not feeling worthy of being in the spaces that I was in, especially in my time of being in college, but also not belonging anywhere and not having an immediate job right after graduating. I don't know any statistics, so there's that. But what I will say is, I know that I'm not the only person who graduated college expecting to have a job and not receiving a job or not finding a job to work immediately after graduating. So with my unemployment, it has been a struggle to find ways of wanting to be here. In particular, because with every job application that you fill out and with every rejection letter that you receive, it kind of hurts, especially when you were raised to be, not to be, but to feel validated with every passing grade, to be smart in a class, to be one of the smartest people in your class, to always rely on academic validation for your existence. And so now once you graduate and you're getting all of these job rejection letters and stuff, it sucks. And I'm not making this video because I want advice from annoying people on the internet, because I use Google. And if I wanted your advice, I would have asked for your advice, but I'm not. And I say that in particular with the whole job market thing, where it's like, well, maybe you should do this. Maybe you should shut up. People are struggling financially. And when you struggle financially, when you struggle to get your needs met, especially in a westernized country that doesn't value free healthcare, that doesn't value the lives of those who live within the country, who would instead give all of those free resources of getting a doctor, getting healthcare, free education, all of these things to people in an imaginary state, it kind of pisses you off and it makes you really upset. And I'm viscerally upset at my life's circumstances for a number of things. But I put a lot of that blame on the government, on capitalism. That's just the truth of the matter. So I'm so happy that we moved past that part and I could go back to talking about my panic attack. So I started experiencing symptoms of my panic attack, I would say, the day of the first hurricane that happened. I think it was like Hurricane Helene. And I live in the South, so living in the South has been very freaking stressful for the past couple of weeks. The hurricane came and I heard all of the wind. I felt so much pressure on my house from the hurricane. I felt the wind. I heard everything. It was really distressing, to say the least. And last year, my family and we experienced like another hurricane where I guess it came in and it ended up knocking one of the largest tree branches off of our tree and it fell on our house. So luckily enough, the house was not destroyed, the ceiling was not destroyed. It's just the fact that it literally fell in our house. And so it fell in our yard. And it was really distressing for a long time, especially because we had to wait a bit for insurance to come in and other funds to come in to help us remove that big old trunk from our front yard. And because that happened last year, the biggest anxiety that was sitting on my chest when it came to the more recent hurricane was that, oh my God, I don't want another branch to fall on my house. I can't go through this again. So that was on my mind. That was already stressing me out. The first symptom of my panic attack, like developing within my body, was pain in my hand. And I noticed that like I had like a vein popping out on my hand, on the back of my hand. And I was so taken aback by that because that has never happened to me a day in my life. So I was very taken aback. I was like, what the hell is happening to me? So I started drinking all of this water, thinking that I was just dehydrated. And so I'm drinking all this water and nothing is helping the pain on my hand or in my hand. So I'm still taken aback. I don't understand what the hell is happening to me. So I take a Benadryl. I go to sleep because I'm like, hopefully the sleep will make the pain go away. And it did momentarily. But then I started feeling a sharp pain in my chest. And I'm holding it as if like, imagine like you're being poked from the inside by your heart. And that's what it felt like. I felt sharp pains within my heart. And I was like, I don't know what's happening, but this is stressing me out even more. And I don't really like this. I need you to calm down. So then I was like, don't you remember when you watched that TikTok with that one black lady who was like, you know, the leading cause of like death among like black women is stress. But because black women have never really necessarily been taught all the tools to like express all of the things that has been stressing them out and to find healthy coping mechanisms to like relax so they don't die of stress. And because stress can lead to heart problems, it can lead to a heart attack and to strokes and all of these things. So find healthy coping mechanisms to help your body relax. So then I was like, oh my God, what if I'm having a heart attack? And I'm like, I'm dealing with all of this stress with the pounding of my heart, and it was pissing me off. So that happened for 3 days. And last Wednesday, I ended up staying up that night and I was reading. Can I find the book? No, probably not. Oh, no, wait. Nope. So I was reading The Invisible Man. And I was like, wow. I stayed up that night reading like the first couple of chapters. And I was taken aback by the book. And even though you would think reading would make you feel more relaxed, it did not make me feel more relaxed. And I started feeling this pain again, this sharpness in my chest. And I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I know I don't want to die in my bedroom because all I want in this life is to make it out of my childhood home. And I want to live on my own merit. I want to live a life. I just genuinely want to get a car. I want to do all of these things. And if I die in this bed, I'm going to be so pissed because I wasn't able to live out all of the dreams that I wish to fulfill in this life. And now I'm stressing the frick out. So because of all of that stress, I'm like, I need to go to the hospital. I need to save myself. I need to save myself, so let me go to the hospital. Mind you, I've never went to the emergency room for anything like this in my life. I've only went to the emergency room for family members or for asthma. But outside of that, I've never went to the emergency room for any medical emergency for me at my grown age. So I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening? So I go to the hospital. Mind you, side note, the people at the reception desk, there was a couple of nurses there and a security guard. They were having an argument about the legacy of like Chris Brown. That was distressing as fuck. I think low key, all of them who were trying to like, I don't know, stand up for Chris Brown's legacy were birds. And that did not make me feel any safer in their presence. But that's neither here nor there. So I'm in the reception room and I'm shaking. I'm literally shaking as I'm trying to like sign in because I want to be seen. And while all of this is ruminating, I'm like, oh my God, well, you partially did the job, because if you're having a heart attack, you're at the hospital now. The only thing that you can really hope for is that you don't die here. So this impending fear of dying was still weighing heavily over my consciousness. And I'm like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die because I didn't get to do all the things that I wanted to do. So long story short, they checked out all of my vital signs and stuff. I did an x-ray. They drew blood. I still have a bruise on my, oh my God, hold up. I messed up the setup. Hold up. Okay. So I got a bruise on my arm. I'm not sure if you can see it, but like that's from where they drew blood. Real nasty. And yeah, my heart was fine. You know what I learned? I was having a panic attack, and I never knew what a panic attack actually felt like. I knew people before who had panic attacks, but I've never experienced one. And oh my God, the main symptom that drew me to go to the hospital was I started to feel like my body was shaking. And I thought I was experiencing a heart attack or stroke. So, because of that, I was so stressed out. My body started shaking. And I didn't know what to do with that. So, I went to the hospital. So, what has been stressing me out to cause me to experience my first panic attack? I'm unemployed, been unemployed since I graduated college. Part of me wants to say that I don't know what I want to do with my life, but that's a lie. I do know what I want to do with my life. The question is, will I be able to do it? And I guess in this part of my life, I'm supposed to at least try to do it. When I was like 13 or 12, I wanted to be a YouTuber really bad. And that was the career choice that I made for myself when I was in middle school, when I was in high school. I only wanted to become an actress later, but that was because I started doing drama and theater in high school. And so I have this acting degree, but like I always wanted to do YouTube, and I always wanted to make YouTube videos. When I was a child, I wanted to have like a sketch comedy show, because one of my favorite sketch comedy shows as a child was In Living Color, because I would watch all of the freaking episodes, because at that time, like, they were being replayed anyway because syndicated television. So I would watch them. I would watch the old reruns. But also, I was like a fan of Saturday Night Live at that time. And yeah, I don't think as a child I necessarily wanted to do comedy, but I always found comedy endearing and I felt drawn to the genre. And yeah, in this part of my life, I don't know. Like I say, I don't know. Because genuinely, if I were to tell people, I really want to pursue content creation, but I also want to be a screenwriter, and I also want to do all of these other things in the arts, the people in my family would look at me like I'm stupid. And so, because of that, I've put a lot of pressure on myself to find a job to sustain myself for where I am right now. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I had a panic attack. And it wasn't fun, like it wasn't fun. I did try making jokes when I was like still processing everything that happened. The one joke that I was telling myself was, damn girl, I didn't know you were that stressed out, but it makes sense. You've been carrying all that ass around for decades. Shit, if I were you, I'd be stressed too. Like, that was funny to me. But yeah, I think one reason why I've been so stressed out and been dealing with, post-grad depression is the fact that, like, for the field that I chose to major in, it's not like the market right now is really open for the job positions that I would like to be in. Like, if it was up to me, I would be screenwriting. I would be in a writer's room. I would like that. Or at least I assume I would like that. But then I also think about the other aspects of myself that are like, you want to work for yourself. You want to set your own hours. And you have things that you really want to talk about. And I do. And I feel like I could do both. But I don't know. The way the world works and the way that the world has been stressing me out. Also, I forgot to tell you guys this. Yeah, I live near Conyers. If you don't know, Conyers had the biolab where the explosion happened and stuff. And when I say near, I don't mean like near. I mean like I'm physically near Conyers. I live in a city that's like my city is right next to Conyers, right? And where that fire was, where that chemical explosion was not far from my house. I would say like 15 minutes away from my house. That's not far. So because of that, because mind you, Georgia, things are spread apart. So it's not like super compact, but still, if you saw the plumes, you saw the smoke and how it was just going on and on and on for miles. Yeah. So the day that I woke up, that the same day that I had my panic attack was the day when those chemicals entered my freaking house. Okay? The chemicals, whatever chemicals were burning in the air was inside of my house, and it smelled like a swimming pool. I think all of the events, all of the past traumas that I've experienced, the whole pandemic, everything has been snowballing into this moment where I ended up having a freaking panic attack the same day that those chemicals started coming into my house. And they're still in my house. My house still smells like swimming pool. The area smells like swimming pool. And we have become nose blind to it because we have to live in it. And like, I don't even know. Here's the other thing. We can't even wear like the regular N95 mask because the particles of the runoff of the chemicals that were in that explosion are so small that they could just pass through the mask. So I've still been wearing a mask, but my whole thing is, it's in my house. I can't sleep in a mask. So I don't know what's inside of my body. The stress of not knowing what the fuck is inside of my body, not knowing if I'm ever gonna get a job in the field that I want. My biggest goal is that I become a content creator. I'm an independent contractor. I do shit on my own time. because I love doing this. I love making videos. But I'm also worried about my health. Not only my physical health, but my mental health as well. I don't even know what's inside of my body. I don't know what I've been inhaling. And I'm already asthmatic. Now, and then on top of that, it's fall. It's fall now. So, like, what am I to do is the question. What am I to do? To be hopeful? The people, now this is like super side tangent, but the people who experienced all of the debris in 9/11 years later, who were living their lives, ended up developing cancer and shit, I'm worried that's gonna happen to me now. Because I shouldn't be my house shouldn't be smelling like swimming pool. It shouldn't be smelling like bleach and chlorine and 3 o'clock in the morning. It shouldn't. When those vapors started entering my house the morning of the panic attack, I smelled them. They woke me up. And I was like, oh, my house smells like swimming pool. So, yeah, I'm trying my hardest to be hopeful. I am. I have things in the works that I'm researching for next videos and stuff. I'm still applying to jobs, even though my biggest hope and my biggest goal is to become a content creator and be able to monetize off of this channel. I'm able to like make videos every week. That is my goal. But I'm also stressed out. I've dealt with a lot this year. I'm an astrological person. So apparently this is like a Saturn year, but then also something has been happening with Pluto, I think. And all to say that like this year has been this way for whatever reason, because it was like written in the stars, and I was supposed to have issues with finding a job, and I don't like that. I really don't. I don't like the stress that has been putting on my life. But also, I just wish that the recession would just be declared as a recession already, instead of us drawing it out and just waiting for worse stuff to occur within the economy. Because if I'm already stressed now, imagine how stressed I'm going to be if I'm still unemployed and then it's declared a recession. Then it's going to be doubly bad then. And I don't even want to go through all of that. I really don't. So I'm making this video because I want people to know that panic attacks can strike when you're not even expecting them. 2, panic attacks feel like heart attacks and can also feel like you're about to have a stroke. And it's scary. The tips that I've learned through doing minimum 3-minute research on TikTok and Google is that if you're having a panic attack, figure out ways to relax yourself. If you have ice in your house, or if you can, put some water in a freezer, let it freeze, and whenever you're having a panic attack, and if you're at home, because this relies heavily on that aspect, go grab the water bottle and just hold it, because it will make you focus on the cold. If you're out and about, if you carry a purse, carry Sour Patches or Sour Patch Kids, because the sourness will take your mind off of the panic attack and more so focus on the sour flavor within your mouth. Yeah. Black people experience panic attacks. And I have to say that because, you know, you have people out there who don't necessarily even believe that, like, Black people can experience, like, mental health issues and stuff like that. And they can just pray it away. And no, if you have the means to do so, to receive help and treatment, please do so. Yeah. And it sucks for people who don't have health insurance. It sucks for those who aren't able to keep up with their health insurance payments every month. It sucks. It really do suck for us. Because all we want is good health care. And you're not alone if you ever had a panic attack. I just wanted to share my experience with y'all. The other thing that I did realize was when I was having my panic attack, the biggest fear that I carried. This is gonna be the last thing. The thing that I carried with me as I entered the emergency room was that, for one, my mom was not gonna tell nobody that I was having a panic attack. She's not gonna tell nobody in the family because she's embarrassed about the fact that I was having a panic attack. But two, who was gonna tell my friends I was having a panic attack? Not a panic attack, but who was gonna tell my friends that I was potentially having a heart attack? Who was gonna tell my friends if I was to die in the hospital? Who would let them know? How would they find out? Would they ever find out? And that was the biggest, scariest thing for me. So when everything was happening, I did end up texting one of my friends, and I was so scared. But I'm happy that, like, even though I texted her in that situation, that she remained relatively calm via text. So, like, I didn't have to feel super freaked out. But my biggest fear was, who was gonna know? I don't even know why that was the thought in my head. Like, who's gonna know if I ended up dying in the hospital? But it was. And I feel like a lot of people feel like that, especially if you feel lonely, or at least if you self-isolate, because I'm a self-isolator. So, like, yeah, that was the biggest fear. Like, who was gonna know? Who was gonna know? And yeah, I'm making this video. I think it's World Mental Health Day, International Mental Health Day. Not sure, but if you stayed throughout this video, thank you. I'm just gonna post this. I'm not gonna edit this. I know I'm known for, like, editing all of my videos and such, but I want to put this out as raw as it is because it deserves to be seen. And I hope for all of my Black femme presenting people, mask presenting non-men, Black women, please take care of your mental health. Please know that you're not alone. And when we feel like we have no control over our lives, it can become a snowball and it can literally swallow us. So I want you to at least have a person in your corner who you can rely on that will make you feel calm in times that feel extremely turbulent. And yeah, I'm not wise. I'm not wise and I don't have answers, but, like, you're not alone. And I feel like more of us should talk about these experiences because they're not just our experience. I mean, all of the specific details are, but, like, there are millions of other people out there who have experienced panic attacks, just like you, if you have. And if you're a friend who has seen a friend of yours or best friend, close friend of yours experience a panic attack and you never knew the symptoms, know that it is extremely daunting for the person because they're experiencing all of these feelings of stress and fear all at the same time, and they're being exhibited in a violent way in the body. So not only that, but I heard that, like, there is a period between your first panic attack and your next that's, like, relatively close. So there's that. There is that fear. My biggest fear at this time is experiencing another one. And I don't know if I would be ready for that one either, but I at least know now that there are some ways to pull myself back and to feel less impending fear within my body. And yeah, my fear is that I would never, my one fear is that people would not know that I'm dead. But then the other fear is I'm probably never going to let me reword this. My other fear is that I won't be able to live out the dreams and aspirations that I wanted to live out, because there are a lot of people who haven't, but I at least want to try. So that's the goal of this channel right now. The goal for this channel is trying. So I'm going to try with all of my heart to be one of the best yappers I can be for this channel, because I want to be here and I wish to get all of my thoughts out, because if I don't, probably gonna explode. Not in a creepy, scary Joker way, but just in general. Just gotta get the thoughts out. I was a child who was quiet, and I was a child who was made quiet because of the adults in my environment. So now I'm an adult who have all of these thoughts, and I need to get them out. So that's the point. So yeah, I hope this video finds you well. I hope this video also doesn't freak you out, and I hope you are well. And thank you guys for staying all the way through. Bye. Ah, my ass hurts.